Across the Gun Counter. I'm your host, Joe Riva, joined by my co-host,
Tyler Weaver.
All right, and we are here to bring you another episode this week. This is going to be our holiday special.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so Tyler and I decided, across the gun counter we work, there's a lot of things that, I'm going to be quite frank, that just piss us off. And,
and the holidays really brings it out.
Yeah, so we decided, we're going to bring a little extra episode to you guys, and we're going to sit back, kick back, have a little bit of a drink or two, and talk about some things that just really annoy us in the industry.
Absolutely. I got my podcast and bourbon ready.
Ooh. Man, yeah, I got this cider my buddy Cliff gave me.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Blood orange cider. I think that's fitting, the blood orange. Even though I think it's more of a November. I think I got this like a month or two ago. It shows you how often I actually drink. But yeah, so I was expecting more of, I'm just so used to drinking seltzer, so I'm used to the fizz, and there was no fizz. I was like, what the hell? I think it's also maybe
a little on the flat side.
Yeah, it's maybe also because I had a Moscow Mule earlier too, and I was expecting a little bit more. But
ooh, there you go.
Ooh, yeah. Did I actually ever tell you I got yelled at for ordering a Moscow Mule?
No.
Yeah, right after the whole Ukraine-Russia thing happened, I actually got yelled at.
You know what? That makes sense.
And I was just like, come on, man, I just want my drink. Like, politics aside, like, I just want to drink.
Yeah. It's like, look, call it whatever you want. Just make sure it's made right.
Exactly. You can call it I don't even know. That just annoyed
Easy
me.
There.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started with our actual stuff that pisses us off in the gun industry.
Yeah.
So
where do you want to start, Joey? I mean, there's so much.
So I'm gonna do stuff that really annoys me from across the counter, like that I see that really
from the retail side.
From the retail side, stuff that really annoys me when customers do or things like that. And I'm not trying to say like hey, certain people don't shop don't do certain things, but like just come on, man, don't make our jobs more difficult in this regard is what I'm getting at.
And that's the thing. We can joke about it.
Exactly. Like, again, I'm from New Jersey. I was born and raised in New Jersey. And again, I don't like that more than half the people who are probably listening to this podcast do. So, but that being said, I've embraced the ways of Pennsylvania. And one thing I've embraced in Pennsylvania is the freedom to own a magazine above 15 rounds. Back when I was in New Jersey, it was 15, not 10. So it's great to be able to own something that, you can actually, a standard capacity magazine. And that's my first grievance is the magazine capacities for banned states.
What, just like everybody coming across the border from New Jersey? Trying to buy them?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, listen, I understand it sucks. I understand it. I really do. I'm from there. I know it. When I was there, I abided by the laws. And when you go into shops across the state, especially closer to the borders and stuff like that, they're going to ID you. They're going to check you. It's just naturally what's going to happen, and whether you like it or not.
Because you guys get those people all the time.
Exactly, and we have to follow the law. And I get it might be legal for certain people in certain states to actually sell to those people, but when you bring it back across the border, you are committing a felony. And I think a lot of things people forget is people talk. Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get that from? And who does that come back to in the court? Oh, I got it from this store. I got it from that store. No one wants to be involved in that. No one wants to be involved. I don't want to have to tell you, no, I can't sell this to you. You don't want to have to make me look like a jerk. I don't want to have to make you look like a jerk. It sucks, but please abide by the laws with the mag capacities. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but like, don't go into a shop and directly just do that. It makes their job harder. It just makes everyone look bad in the end. Like, I want to sell you the 30-round magazine. Believe me, I really do.
I do.
I really do. And, I don't condone breaking the law or anything of that nature.
No, of course not.
From a legal standpoint, obviously I don't condone that. And just please, man, guys, girls, I get the law. I get the law in New Jersey is awful. I get the laws in these banned states are just terrible. They suck, and I feel for you. And believe me, I have been there, and I'm not trying to get political, but I've been there, and I've actually protested. I was in the New Jersey State Capitol with the mag ban a few years ago. So I've been there. I fought with you guys, and it sucks, and it really does. And I'm really sorry to hear that, but don't make people across the counter's jobs harder and make them feel bad or look bad doing it, because it's just not right, man. It's just, I feel bad having to say no. I really do. You should be allowed to own a 30-round magazine. I'm not disagreeing with you. Are you disagreeing? Like, I mean, you would agree, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, Tyler, I know you recently had to pin a magazine for a customer.
I did, and it was a new experience for me, but being in Pennsylvania, it's nice to have a customer be able to have a mag shipped to me. I pin it for him, so his gun comes out looking as authentic as his state will allow.
See, and that's cool that there are places that offer pinning or things like that. And again, I don't agree with the magazine capacity, so please don't take this as me condoning
Mm-hmm.
magazine capacity restrictions. I don't think it's right at all. But if you are unfortunately living in that state or you are living in that area with those restrictions, you do have to abide by those laws. And unfortunately, I mean, that's not my problem. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
it's that's
Yep, yep. Oh, I know.
it's not my problem. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I really am, but not much I can do about it. Move or
Yep.
vote out. Other than that, hey, I'm not going to go on a rant about that. So, I mean,
All
I
right.
think I already
So
said my
next
bit.
one.
Yep.
All
All right. What's yours? What's
right.
yours? What's yours?
Okay, right off the top, and I know this bothers you as much as it does me. Especially you're in retail, you get more people than I do.
Mm-hmm.
When customers just want to talk and talk forever. So look, I got a job to do. Are we finished here?
Tire kickers.
Yep. Yeah, and I've had that a couple times. And now, like as a gunsmith, it's like, okay, yeah, I get your gun logged in. We discuss what we're doing with it. Okay, great. If you see me start going back to work, it's time to go.
Yeah. There's something overstaying your welcome, and then there's
Yep.
it's you want to have a chat, of course, because everyone wants to talk guns.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah,
I
we're
love
we're all
guns.
gun guys. Yeah, we like talking guns as much as the next person. But at the end of the day, we're on the clock.
Exactly, and especially if you have someone who's watching. In your case, it's just yourself, but time is
Yeah.
money, and you have a family to feed.
Oh, absolutely.
Case in point,
You know,
you
and that's the
work
thing.
there.
I set up appointments for that reason.
Absolutely. I mean, at work all the time. I mean, like just the other day, we had a line of people. I mean, it's crazy. It's the holidays. And
Mm.
then you have some people who just, yeah, man, what's going on? I was having this, I was talking about this and this. It's like, dude, you see, I got paperwork in front of me. There's two other
Yep.
customers here. All the other guys are busy. This is not the time for idle chit chat, bud. Like, if we're slow and there's
Yep.
nothing
Yep.
going on, hey, that's fine. But especially during the holidays, you gotta keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another good one is when they always have to ask our opinion on either like the newest and greatest or like the most specific freaking accessory or like an obscure caliber or something like that.
Okay.
Please tell me you get that.
Something a little similar. All right, so the thing we get that's similar is not like, I mean, yeah, the latest and greatest, but it's what do you carry, or what do
Oh,
what do
yup.
you have on you? And I don't think that's a it's an okay question, but I don't think it's necessarily a fair question.
Yeah,
And
it's like our lifestyles could be absolutely total opposites.
exactly, like, I mean, just my access to just a readily available loaded handgun, I think, is a little bit different from your access to a loaded cocked and locked handgun. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
you have two kids in the house. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So case in point. So what my gun for easy access is going to be is not going to be the same as yours. I'm sure yours has an external safety, does it not?
Oh, none of my carry guns do.
Okay.
My bedside gun does.
That's what I mean. Yeah, your bedside gun, like
Yeah.
something that your kids might potentially get to, because again, you're worried about, concerned about
Yeah,
safety.
and even that's in one of those. What the heck is it? The gun vault that has the little finger pad keys and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a little more access. Yeah, and again, that makes sense. That's, but again,
Yep.
different
Yep.
needs. What my situation and your situation aren't the same. So
Exactly. And plus, as like industry people, we don't get the chance to test every goddamn thing.
oh,
You
I
know what
wish
I
we
mean?
did. I really wish we
Oh.
did. Like the one that's really bugging me, that I'll be honest with you, that I've been wanting to try, that everyone's been asking me, is the Springfield Armory the VHS rifle. What's it called? The Hellion. The
Oh yeah,
Hellion.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to the
Yep.
military designation. The VHS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
And I
little
think
bullpup.
yeah, and
I shouldn't call it little, but the
yeah,
bullpup they came out with.
let's be honest, that's some stupid names in the industry. Like I'll be honest, I
Mm.
think Hellion is a dumb name, but I
I
think
mean,
the original
Springfield's pretty good for them.
yeah, but I think VHS that's a cool name. Like just to me
Yeah.
because I think VHS, I think retro 80s,
Yep.
90s, you know,
What's the other one? Their AR, the Saint.
the saint. Oh, like it's a savior or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
but anyways, so yeah, that's something we always get a lot is like, what do you carry or what do you do? And right off the bat, I can tell you if it's your first handgun, what I'm carrying is not something I would recommend for starting off. Like I
Yeah.
carry the Walther PDP, and it's got a little bit lighter of a trigger than your standard, something like a Glock 19. I mean, they're very similar; they're in that range, but I can tell you, I feel like the PDP is a little bit quicker of a reset.
Yeah.
And I don't
I
know
was
if
gonna
I'd.
say, you ever have customers try to show you their piece while they're there?
Oh, that's another. Oh man, we're really going off. Is like, whoa,
Oh, I know. I know. That's always great when you're talking to somebody. They're like, "Yeah, I carry this," and they start pulling out. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
no, exactly. Yeah, it's don't be pulling out your piece in the store. It's a loaded
Yeah,
firearm. It's
absolutely
not
not.
a toy. And again, I've seen a bunch of handguns. If I really wanted to see it, I'll go look up a picture online.
Exactly. It's like, look, I know what you're talking about. It's fine.
Yeah, leave it holstered.
It's like, trust me. Whenever two dudes are talking, you really don't want to start pulling stuff out of your pants.
No, exactly. No, yeah, you really don't.
Oh shit.
Especially if they're packing.
Yes. Oh damn.
That's another problem I have, I guess, is people not realizing what's going on and not having that full safety sense or just being completely aware of their surroundings with firearms.
Oh yup.
Like, it's. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a lost art nowadays, is just common sense and people being
Or
aware of
just
their
being
surroundings.
like overly respectful. Like,
Yes.
hey, we both know this gun's empty, bolts completely open, but I'm still not gonna freaking point it at you. I
Exactly.
can't tell you how many times customers pull guns out of cases, and immediately just swings right past my chest. It's like, okay, great.
Please don't sweep me. I know it's unloaded, but it still makes me very uncomfortable to have a rifle get swung right in my face.
Yup, yup.
There's just something about the concept of a rifle being in my face or a handgun being in my
From
face.
from another person. Now, as a gunsmith, most of the time I am looking down barrels and shit, but that's a little different when I'm putting myself there.
Exactly. But when someone's it's even if you know it's in a safe environment, it's
Oh
never
yeah.
safe. You never 100% know. I'm sorry. It's just
Yep.
it's you can never be too safe.
Hell, I got uncomfortable today. What was that? I had a Remington 1100. Trigger group's completely taken out of it. It's just the like barrel receiver leaning up against the bench. And I leaned over to like reach into my toolbox for something and just happened to be looking down while I'm like feeling around in the drawer, just looking straight down the barrel like, yeah, this is a little weird. I'm going to kind of step off to the side.
It's incredible how uncomfortable it can make you feel at times. It
Oh yeah,
really does.
once you get in the habit.
Yeah, it really is. I actually had someone ask me the other day, or they didn't ask me, I'm sorry. They asked one of the guys and they said like, "How come you keep checking that gun?" And he's like, "I just handed it back to you and you saw." He goes, "It doesn't matter. The fact is that
You just
slide was
get in
closed.
that
It's
habit.
just you can never be too careful. You can never be
Yep.
too safe."
Oh yeah. So what else you got on your list, man?
Oh man, my list of I think you've uncovered more of my as we've
Just
gone
keep
on that I
digging
didn't even
deeper.
think. I actually had a small list and screw the list. The list went out the window. But one of my thing was actually useless and dumb looking accessories, like dumb colors.
Ooh, yup.
Like
Bright colored anodized shit.
yeah, and it just looks cheap and chintzy. I remember we had a red AR come in at one point and it just looked just awful. And I just why? Just
Yup,
there's
yup.
there's just no advantage you get to having that on a firearm. I mean,
Just flashy, like
yeah,
the whole hot rod type
but
style going on behind it.
but the rifle already looks fine enough as it is, especially if it's like an AK or your standard M4 carbine. Like they already look awesome. They already look. I mean, they already look, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
cool. You know what
Ooh,
I
you know
mean?
what one? You know what one gets me? Guns that are painted up like damn toys.
Oh, yes, that's a
You've
big
seen it, like
yes.
the Nintendo Zappers and shit like that.
Like there's some art to that, and I will say that I can appreciate that, but I just don't understand it when we live in a world where we're trying to get away from the concept of guns are not toys and guns are. And it's funny because I know I'm going to get yelled at down the road when I post my one Glock idea that we talked about, and it's not a
Oh, we can be
toy.
hypocritical on here. That's
But
fine.
I try not to be a hypocrite. But I guess everyone's a hypocrite at the end of the day, and if you say you're not, I guess you're kind of a liar.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest. When it comes to a lot of these things, is we as gun owners and we just as people who like guns, we try and be as safe as possible, and we try and get to this point across that guns are not toys. And then you get these people who make a Glock look like a Lego.
Yep, I've seen that one.
Like I just remember seeing that, and I thought, wow, that my first thought was, wow, that looks kind of neat, but why? And then my but why came to, well, why? Because the whole safety aspect. We're trying to get away from guns are not toys, and we don't want kids, especially, we want people learning gun safety at a younger age, not mishandling guns. And if you treat them like toys or you show them off like toys, they're going to be treated like toys. So how do you avoid that? Do not make them look like toys. Do not treat them like toys. Treat them like what they are. If you want to do a cool camo job or something, fine. Do all that, fine. But making it up to be, like your old Nintendo Zapper, or, a Nerf gun, or what was the other one we said, the Lego one?
The Lego one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the worst one. And that was like one of the few times where I was like, okay, guys, this is where I'm drawing the line.
Pushing the buck too far. Yep. Now, like if it was one of those things like like an art installation, something that is literally just meant to be looked at and viewed in a certain way, fine. But to make something like that a functional piece that
No,
to get
absolutely
laughs
not.
out of, yeah,
And that I think some things are done on purpose to. They know it's going to draw controversy. They know it's, but they don't care. And I think that's part of the
yeah.
that's another, that's like
That takes down the industry as a whole.
yeah, and that's just not right, man. Like it's just not cool. It's just we have to take guns for what they are. We have to take them seriously. And when you make them out to be toys. You make them out to be something less serious than they are. You're not. It's just you're giving fuel to people who don't like guns. And
Yep.
let's be honest, we don't want that. That's the last thing anyone wants to see. Please take firearms and firearm safety seriously. I can't tell you how many times I see people doing stupid stuff that can easily be avoided with just the littlest bit of common sense, and the littlest bit of just taking a step back and thinking, how should I handle this situation, or what should I do to move this firearm in a safe manner?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you not agree? Like, what would be? I mean, how much does that annoy you? Just improper handling of firearms.
On a scale of 1 to 10, like what are we talking here?
I mean, yeah, 1 to 10.
It does bug the hell out of me.
From a gunsmith, I have to
geez.
imagine even more so.
You know what? As soon as you mention it, one thing pops into my mind. We were at the Oaks Gun Show.
The Oaks Gun Show.
Oh, the good old Oaks Gun Show, which they just had that like this past weekend or something
Yep,
like
past
that.
weekend as of
Yep.
this recording.
Anyway, I remember a while ago we were there, and an announcement came over the intercom system. So like everybody goes quiet, trying to listen to what it was, and somebody not paying attention fucking knocked a Barrett off the table. Like it was sitting on
I
top of
remember
like
that.
a Pelican case, and you just hear that fucking thing hit the table so goddamn hard in just a dead silent room.
I remember that.
Oh my god.
Yes, I remember that. I think that was at the show we met, actually.
It might have been.
I think it was. I remember
Yeah,
that.
because that's one of those things that stick in your mind. It's just like, hey, no matter what I do, I will not be that asshole today.
Were you there when there was like this? Oh man, I don't even want to get into that. I guess on the whole thing, when there was the whole thing going on in the parking lot.
No.
There was like a standoff in the parking lot the one time. That was
Oh
wild.
shit.
Oh man, it's just like it's wild stuff. Just wild stuff.
Do you remember what it was over?
A guy selling guns illegally, and the
Out in the
state.
parking lot.
Yep, and the state police caught wind of it, and yeah,
Nice.
you
Nice.
guys
You
can
could at
look.
least go to like a McDonald's or something and do that. Don't do it in the gun show
Well,
parking
that's
lot.
the thing is people. That's another issue I have, I guess, for the holidays is.
By the way, I'm not condoning that.
Yeah, no, we don't condone. Follow your local and state laws and all federal laws absolutely anytime when it comes to purchasing and selling a firearm, and don't do so under the influence of alcohol. That's another thing.
Absolutely.
Just oh man, just the stupid guys. When you go to a gun show, there's this concept that gun shows you can just go to a gun show and just buy a gun and walk away, no problem, and that's really not the case. Especially every single gun show I've been to, you know who's been there? The state police. Yeah, the state police.
Mm-hmm.
And at every single gun show, every single
Yeah,
one.
some
from
of
the
them are even out
smallest one.
looking for straw purchases.
Exactly. If you think that there's not an undercover or 10 or more at a show, especially like something like Oaks, where that thing is huge.
Oh, what, 2,000 tables most
Oh,
of the time?
Oh, absolutely. And right next to Philadelphia, and you don't think
Yeah.
there's going to be undercover cops. I can't tell you how many times I've seen cops doing their due diligence at that show.
Mm-hmm.
I,
But you know what gets me about gun shows, though, Joey?
What's that?
Oh my god, everybody is looking for the bare bones cheapest price they can pay for everything.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you go to a gun show, apparently the person selling is not allowed to make a profit.
No, because they don't have to pay to be there.
No, they don't have to pay to set up a table. They don't have to pay to gas. They don't have to pay for their merchandise. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to a gun show and expect a deal, because I think, hey, at gun shows, that would
There's
be...
deals out there.
Oh, yeah, there's deals to be had. And the idea of going to a gun show nowadays is more getting that culmination of every vendor from across the state, or from more than across the state. Like, I know at least... I'm not going to keep name dropping this show. But the show in question that we keep mentioning, you always see, like, hey, we're not getting paid for advertising. Why? And they have people, from across, like, I know the one guy's from Ohio who I talked to a couple times. He brings stuff. There's a couple guys from
Ohio, Delaware,
Kentucky, the one guy's from I talk to all the time.
One guy was from New York.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He was cool, though. He does gold-plated AKs and shit like that.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I got talking to him for a while.
That's what do you think about that as a gold-plated AK?
Tacky?
Tacky?
Is
Okay.
that the word? Yeah, tacky.
Well, I forget what I was watching, and they were talking about gold-plated AKs, and they were like, why would someone have it? And they were like, oh, it's just a status symbol. Like, that's
Yeah,
it. There's
pretty much.
literally nothing that makes sense to a gold-plated AK other than a status symbol. And I will be honest, there are Zastavas that are gold-plated, and I thought,
What?
yeah, I saw it online the other day, and they're legit.
No.
Dude, I'll send you a link.
Okay.
When we're done with this,
I
I'll
gotta
send
check
you a
these
link.
out.
Yeah, I kid you not. I saw that and I was like, okay, I wish I had some money.
All right, wait. What kind of furniture was on it? Was it white or was it still like the wood?
No, it was still the wood. It looked
Ah,
pretty,
come on.
dude. It looked pretty good.
No, you gotta throw some sort of white furniture on there.
I mean, does it have to look like a zebra?
Something with a little gloss. No. Maybe.
I mean, I thought it looked pretty cool for what it was.
Anyway, back to unplated guns.
Yeah, what's your my one of my issues is I really just think a lot of that stuff with the colors is just tacky. There's some stuff that there's some camos that are really cool, but then there's just when you do some of these, I just don't
Bright
understand.
colors and
I just
yeah.
don't get it. I don't understand what a bright red AR or what a bright blue AR and I mean I guess if it's like a display or a model or something, fine. But I mean,
competition gun, maybe something.
but
where,
even
like, hey,
so,
we're trying to be flashy.
I'll be honest. There is a couple race guns that they look pretty cool when they have those colors, like the TS2s and like the green. I think that looks pretty sweet. Or like stuff like that. But like I'm just talking like ARs. I'm just talking like these base ARs with these. Everyone has to have these these. I don't know. It just seems like it's
I was gonna say, and notice it's always got to be a base AR.
yeah. It's got to be a
You're
basic.
never talking like 2,000, $3,000
No, it's
jobs.
never a good AR. It's never an AR you'd want to be seen at the range with.
And probably running steel case ammo.
Oh, absolutely. They're running some Wolf in that or some Red Army Standard.
No, no, no. Come on, toll ammo.
Tula ammo. Isn't Tula and Red Army Standard basically the same thing, different box now?
Pretty much. All right. Silver Bear.
Silver Bear is pretty good actually. What is it? The Brown Bear is pretty accurate.
I don't know. I've never shot any of that stuff.
Oh, really? It's actually, believe me, there is actually a difference.
I was gonna say you guys sell the shit out of that, don't
Oh
you?
yeah, absolutely. The brown bear stuff, that's actually pretty good. I was actually, believe it or not, when I was at the range the other day, one of the more recent times I actually got to shoot the AK. The brown bear, I shot some wolf stuff, and then I shot the brown bear,
Yeah.
and I did notice a significant difference in accuracy.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Wolf was all over the place. Brown bear was actually consistent.
Yeah.
So, take that for what you will. And I've shot a lot of AK ammo. So,
Yeah. And I was gonna say that's a good point right there, when it comes to like the variety of ammo and everything. For me, one of my biggest gripes, customers that want to cheap out.
okay.
When they're having these $2,000 guns and the gun comes into my shop because they decided to shoot cheap ammo through it, or you have a $2,000 gun with a $500 optic on it, or not
Ooh.
even $500. Well, I was always told, like, rule of thumb, optics should pretty much match the value of the rifle or firearm, whatever it is, for
Match the full
quality-wise.
value? Okay.
Pretty close. I mean, think about that. When you're talking about optics, there's a lot that goes into them. So, as far as the value of the gun compared to the quality, a lot of times an optic's not going to be able to keep up with the quality of your rifle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying because someone told me a while ago it should be if your rifle is $2,000, you should be putting $1,000 in, and they always told me you should put your optics should be at least half the price of the cost of your rifle.
About for me, I would try to say like 50-50.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
For me, if neither one is on par with the other, something's suffering and you're not exactly sure where.
Yeah, and the idea behind that is you want to maximize what you're putting into it. You don't want to be putting
Absolutely.
you wouldn't put cheap gas in a Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I try to explain to people. It's like, look, if you're going to go for a higher end firearm, you kind of have to go all the way with it.
Exactly, and I think something when it comes to like AR-15 builds nowadays, I notice a lot of places like let me ask you something. If you were to make an AR build, what kind of barrel would you use? Like what would be the minimum you would start with?
I don't really want to say minimum, but if I had my pick, I would probably say like a Krieger, cuz I believe Krieger barrels they come head spaced with a JP Enterprise bolt head.
Okay.
So you have the barrel with the bolt head that rifle is chambered for.
Now, what's the price of a Krieger barrel? I honestly don't know.
I can't even remember off the top
Spitball.
of my head. Spitball, 300 somewhere in
Okay,
that ballpark.
300.
Which
So-
is about what a normal like barrel blank average cost of like a barrel blank. You're like 280 to like 4 something.
Okay, and now I'm not trying to knock any companies or anything like that, but you see AR barrels, budget AR barrels, and I'm not saying they're bad AR barrels by any stretch of the imagination because I have one for a build I'm doing. I'm not going to say any names. You see them for about $100, sub $100. And then you see them show up on $1,500 builds or guys claiming $1,500 builds. We had an AR
Yup.
come in the other day, and I looked at all the markings and I asked, how much did you pay for this build? And they said $1,500.
It's always $1,500.
$1,500. I think I mentioned this in another episode too. Is $1,500 is
You
the
did.
magic number for AR-15s. It really is.
You know
and
what? The next AR build I'm doing, I'm literally gonna have $1,500 engraved on the side of it.
That should be the serial number 1,500. But but anyways, and so they say $1,500, and then I see the barrel, and I know that's a sub $100 barrel.
Oh yeah, you can tell by the finish on it.
You can tell by the finish, and you can tell by the markings. I say, I know that company, and I look and I say, if you paid $1,500 for this
I'm
build,
sorry.
you overpaid by about $800 at least. At least, because I'm looking at the handguard, and the handguard's no. So for when you say one of your things that just really just irk you in the industry is people cheaping out, that's what builds across the board. So like, what would be the minimum you would want someone to put into an AR for you to come to build an AR-15? Like, what would
Dude,
make?
what I tell people, because I've had a bunch of people like, "Hey, can you build me an AR for like $800?" It's like, no, not something I'd be worth. Like, I'd be happy sending out the door because it's
Mhm.
going to be all bottom of the barrel parts, and then my labor costs to put it together. You
Exactly.
know, so for me, I tell customers $2,000.
Okay.
I want to see at least $1,800 of that going directly into like the rifle itself. Because that's the thing. That way, I know the firearm that's leaving my shop is something that people at the range are gonna go, oh wow, that's different. Where'd you get that? Who built that? You
Versus
know,
something just where you bought an
not that you
upper and
see
you
some
bought a
fucking
lower.
some poverty pony and it's like, oh, I got this custom AR.
No, I hate. All right. That's another thing that really annoys me when someone says they built an AR, and they
Oh,
literally just
don't
bought.
get me started, Joey.
All right,
Don't
yeah,
get me started.
I'm getting you started. That was the point of this episode. In this episode, it was your idea. So
God damn it.
I'm getting you started. I'm gonna get you started.
Uh, Unless you're hunched over a goddamn lathe, it is not a build. I'm sorry. Unless you're crushing rivets and cursing at the damn thing, it is not a build.
Oh man, so me just ordering an arrow upper and then ordering a Bear Creek lower, throwing them together, that's not a build?
It depends. Do you hit it with a hammer?
I mean,
If you hit
maybe.
it with a hammer, it might be a build.
I mean, at that case, I mean, it's got to be a Russian gun because
I
I don't
mean,
know.
people build houses with hammers, so I assume you have to hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I mean, you build AKs with a hammer.
Yeah, if you do it right.
Yeah. So okay, that's I think that's a big problem is using the word
Sorry, yeah,
build.
you struck a nerve.
Oh, I
there.
know I did. I did that on purpose. It's almost like I knew that was going to hit that nerve. Yeah, because that's something that bugs I think a lot of people with this
It
industry
does.
and just the gun community in general is building an AR. What constitutes as building an AR?
No, the best is custom Glocks.
Oh my gosh,
It's like, all
that's
right, you swapped out the mag release and the trigger. Great.
oh gunsmith
Yup. Oh,
or
and sights too.
oh yeah, and sights. Yeah,
Like, no,
and extra magazines. Don't forget the extra magazines.
with the base plate, you gotta have the base
Oh, with the
plate.
base plate swapped out with the red extended base plates that say Gucci on the bottom.
Gucci, Gucci Glocks.
Gucci Glocks. You know, I use that term all the time at the store, and people, there's some people who've never heard that before, and I'm a little,
Really?
yeah, and I'm a little
I was gonna say, I
surprised.
feel like in 2022 that term's been around for at least 2 or 3 years.
That's literally what I refer to any Glock that is not your standard base Glock. Like anything that's a
Yeah.
Glock that's not cheaper than a Glock, like a Glock clone, but anything that's more expensive than your standard Glock that's built off the Gen 3 platform.
Ooh, like the nice custom stippling jobs that come in from time
Oh,
to time.
yeah, the nice.
Yeah, customer found a freaking wood burner and decided, what the hell, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I really, you know, there's some stippling jobs where I see some people do them. And this is another thing is when you customize a Glock or you customize a handgun or any firearm for that matter, you lose a lot of the value of that firearm because you customize the firearm for
To
you.
you.
Yes, you
Yep.
customize that firearm to you, not to me, not to Tyler, not to Phil down the street or Frank or Earl or Sheila
Jim Bob
or
Jones.
yeah, it doesn't whoever you customize it for you, not for anybody else. So all that customization, all that inherent value, it's all to you. It's not to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me I'm wrong
Oh.
there.
No, absolutely not. And another one that I love, I mean, I refer to it, I have my own term for it, is God guns, where customers are like, oh, this gun is great. This gun never jams. This is my custom gun. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
Where,
Uber guns and everyone it's the ultimate gun and this and this and yeah, my
Mhm.
gun never jams but clearly it does because one look at the barrel tells me this thing hasn't been cleaned in since it was issued in 1941.
and that's the
So
other thing. What conditions? Okay, yeah, great. The gun has never jammed a day in your life at the bench punching paper. on a static range.
Yeah, no, let's
Never.
those. Yeah. Did you carry it all the time? Did you run a bunch of different ammo through it? Were you being consistent with everything?
Did you drop it in a puddle, pick it up, shake it off, see what it does?
Yeah, it's guns. Guns can malfunction, even Glocks, despite what people think.
Oh yeah, cars malfunction, guns malfunction, everything malfunctions.
Exactly. So when it comes to reliability and everything of that nature, I'd say the majority of modern firearms are reliable. Would you not?
Yeah, for the most part, to an industry standard.
Yeah, there's
I know
there's
that sounds kind of funny, but like, yes, all firearms new out of the box, they're gonna last for so long.
exactly, and they're gonna run. One of the big questions I always get is how reliable is this gun, or is this gun which is the more reliable gun? And I don't think that's a fair question. I really don't, because I've
No.
handled everything from cheap firearms or all right, there's a difference between a cheap firearm and an affordable firearm.
Okay,
And
yeah, I'll give you that.
there's a lot of affordable firearms on the market that are just as reliable as the major names.
Hmm.
And one brand I'll shout out there is Canic. I can tell you for a fact the Canic pistols are some of the most reliable on the market that I've seen, and just from customer feedback, I've heard nothing but positive things about those pistols and how extremely accurate they are and just how much they run.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't
where are they
know.
made?
They're made in Turkey, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
So
you've seen a lot of I mean, both affordable and cheap firearms coming out of Turkey.
yeah, there's you really do have to watch what you're getting with that stuff, and I guess that should be another issue in the industry is how much stuff's coming out of Turkey. But
Hmm.
we should do a whole video or a whole episode on that, and I think we
Oh,
will,
I absolutely could.
because I think just Turkish there's a lot of stuff coming out of Turkey that I think is really cool, and a lot of the stuff that's really interesting, and then there's a lot of stuff that I just kind of go,
It's a cash grab.
yeah, just like really like we're gonna save that for that's own bit. But so what I'm saying is, when it comes to reliability and all that stuff, is you wouldn't survive in this market if you did not put out a reliable firearm, because we live
Yeah.
in, like you said, 2022, where the internet is at our fingertips. So where you can look up, all right, is this guy at the sales counter BSing me or not? You
Yeah.
know what I
And not
mean?
just that, but you're putting out bad firearms. That's a liability now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
As a business, do you want faulty cars going out the door every other day?
E-
No.
Exactly. In an industry where your rights are also under attack, you're not going to do anything. You're going to do what you can to mitigate any harm to that potential industry. And you're going
Hmm.
to, as a company, you're going to try and avoid as many lawsuits as you can. And that's one thing that, people will try and sue, and they have for in the past. And I think they are still trying to over a couple of companies, is reliability of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yep, a couple of things with certain ammunition working. I'm
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like certain
Yeah, yeah.
companies, yeah, certain departments, and bought certain guns and certain ammunition. And if you care to look into it, you can look into. I'm sure you can pick up what I was putting down there, but
Hmm.
that's not here nor there. What I'm saying is, when it comes to firearms, most firearms are reliable nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that's really not reliable. That's outside of 22 pistols, but even 22 pistols nowadays, this isn't something
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
a problem with the industry. This is something I've liked about the industry. 22 pistols are evolving. They
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 are. They
they
really are.
they really are. There's a lot more reliable 22 pistols, and you just have, the big thing is just running high velocity ammunition in them, 40 grain, high velocity. You're golden.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many more semi-automatics that are coming out that have hit the market in this past 2 or 3 years that are extremely reliable, and I think that's fantastic. I think that is
I
something
mean,
awesome for people in the industry to get into.
yeah, one thing when you're saying like things new coming out, when it comes to reliability, a lot of times when you see issues is when it's a new product development, a completely new line, different a new cartridge that was just introduced. Yeah, of course, you're going to have reliability issues because everybody's trying to figure out how it feeds, how it
Hmm.
functions. You know what I mean? So that type of thing, you'll get reliability issues. But again, most of the time when things hit the market, they're pretty well figured out.
Hmm. That's true. I mean, there's one or two companies I can think of that do use you, the consumer, as their test market.
Gee, who could that be?
All right. On that note, Tyler, man, I think we've been going on quite a bit here. We've
Yeah.
we've aired a lot of our grievances, I guess, if you will.
I mean,
Um,
I feel a little better.
yeah. I think I think yeah, it felt good to get a lot of things about that. Get out that
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll do more shit talking episodes in the future.
Yeah, I thought this was a great idea. Just to have fun, the holiday special, keeping on with the theme of the airing of the
Yep.
grievances, stuff like
Something to
that.
do. A couple drinks. Just hang
Something,
out,
have some
talk.
fun stuff that jokes around. But in all seriousness, guys, we do like everyone from everyone who comes in, whether they be from a banned state behind enemy lines or from a free state like Pennsylvania, things of that
Yup.
nature. But it's things that just keep in mind, guys. Everyone's human at the end of the day, and hey, no
Oh yeah,
one.
and we're guilty of some of these as well.
Oh, absolutely. We all are. We've done some stupid stuff, or we've shown off some stupid pictures, and I'm sure people are like, geez, people in the industry really do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, just stay safe and have fun with everything. And the biggest thing is be safe with firearms and treat them seriously.
Yep. Especially around the holidays.
Yeah, especially around the holidays, because things can get a little crazy, drinking or no drinking. So, I mean, I guess from us over here at Across the Gun Counter to you guys, stay safe. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate.
Happy
You know,
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What else is there?
I don't know. What do the Jedi celebrate?
I don't know. There's got to be more holidays out there.
Something, yeah. But stay safe out there, guys. You guys know where to follow us at. You can find us over, follow the page over at Across the Gun Counter on Instagram. Follow us on the website at acrosstheguncounter.com, where we're gonna post a lot more good stuff coming out. There's just tons of content we have planned for you over the next few weeks and stuff like that, and few coming months, I should say.
Absolutely.
And Tyler, actually, where can they find you at? Because they know where to find the podcast at. Where can they find you at?
They can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Precision Rifle Works and at precisionrifleworks.com.
All right, and if anyone wants to follow me too, because I'm around here too, you can follow me over on Instagram at sightpicture762, and I'm over on Instagram, or of course I'm on Instagram because I just said I'm on Instagram at sightpicture762. Geez, this later is pretty good. You can
That
also
and it's late.
that and it's late. We're recording this a little bit later than planned. You can also find me on YouTube actually, where I do my Hunt Showdown gaming videos and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna upload some gun videos there soon too, Tyler.
There you go.
I think that'll be some. I got some cool stuff and I got some cool projects in mind. So, alrighty, guys, take care. Stay safe. You know where to follow us at. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever you celebrate. Stay safe out there.
Yep. Take care, guys.